It must be strange to be a Democrat. On the one hand, the publicly pushed guise of so many high-profile Dems is that the party and its ideological ilk are all about inclusiveness and free speech. Yet they simultaneously work behind the scenes to censor speech, to demonize those with different opinions about government policy, and claim that those who participate in conversations across party lines are the equivalent of apostates. And much of this two-faced MO is on display again, thanks to the head of the New Hampshire Democrat Party, excoriating Democrat presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for his agreement to speak at a Libertarian conference this coming weekend. Hi everyone, I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC-TV. Here's the story. According to the Boston Globe, New Hampshire State Democrat Party Chair Raymond Buckley sent RFK Jr. an open letter of sorts, warding him off the dark path of speaking to those evil libertarians in the Free State Project at their annual Pork Fest. That's pork with a C for porcupine, the Porcupine Freedom Festival in the White Mountains. Democrats in New Hampshire have a bone to pick, or perhaps it's a quill, with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. over his plan to speak next week at the Porcupine Freedom Festival, commonly called Pork Fest. In a letter Friday to Kennedy's campaign, New Hampshire Democratic Party Chairman Ray Buckley warned that the annual event is organized by the Free State Project, which he called a libertarian extremist organization. It's no place for a prominent Democrat to dignify with a visit, he wrote. Well, as a guy who grew up in New Hampshire and who used to drive 5 hours to Irvington, New York, to the Foundation for Economic Education headquarters to see liberty-minded economists, historians, and philosophers, I'd like to counsel my acquaintance, Mr. Buckley, that I was delighted when I heard of the Free State Project 20 years ago. I've worked on a scholarship program with its creator, Jason Sorens, and have enjoyed many visits to previous Pork Fests. The conversations have been some of the most rewarding of my life, offering me ideas and suggestions for greater learning that I might never have encountered. It's a shame Mr. Buckley seems offended by people sharing ideas and by the actual idea of liberty in general, telling Kennedy, quote, "As a candidate for the presidency and a figure who commands considerable public attention, your presence at PorkFest will be seen as an endorsement of the Free State Project and its radical goals," Buckley wrote. "Your presence will lend legitimacy to an extremist movement that aggressively works against the interests of New Hampshire residents." Of course, this angry rhetoric, couched in the "we know what the interests of New Hampshire residents really are" lingo, is nothing new from the Democrats here. When the Free State Project began and voted to select New Hampshire as the place where members would like to move to live freer, then Democrat Party Chair Kathy Sullivan said they weren't welcome here, which might inspire a few thoughtful people to ask some questions. Since the members of the Free State Project embrace the non-aggression principle, Mr. Buckley and Ms. Sullivan, and since they want to respect other people's lives and property and leave others in peace, then why would Democrats so vociferously object to peacefully minded folks wanting to move here? Could it be that they don't like peaceful people? Could it be that they particularly don't like peacefully minded people who might get involved in state politics and thus arrest or reduce the coercive power of state, county, and local government over people? And are Democrats like Mr. Buckley upset that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. might speak to a gathering of folks that, in previous years, has welcomed such illustrious speakers as economist Tom Woods, economist Bob Murphy, philosopher Stephen Molyneux, Dr. Mary Ruwart, and best-selling novelist and Dr. F. Paul Wilson? Is Mr. Buckley perhaps a bit jealous of other scheduled speakers for PorcFest who, due to some of their positions and their openness to conversation, also are going to be speaking in the White Mountains this coming weekend? Oh, those would be folks such as former Democrat Congresswoman from Hawaii, Tulsi Gabbard, and current GOP presidential candidates Vivek Ramaswamy and Larry Elder, former Congressman and ardent anti-war advocate Dennis Kucinich, and former editor of Barron's and founder of the well-known Soho Forum for Debates, Gene Epstein. On Twitter, my friend and one of the key organizers for many Free State Project events, Carla Garrick, observed, quote, "I do love how everyone is showing their true colors, including at Boston Globe, shilling for Big Pharma, the Biden crime family, and establishment Dems. Fortunately, RFK and Free Staters like the truth. Come check us out." And those who do check things out may expect to have some great and satisfying political discussions, something that evidently the left can't seem to tolerate. Thanks so much for watching, one and all. Keep believing and fighting for freedom. We'll see you out there on Facebook. We'll see you on YouTube, as long as they don't censor us. We'll see you at Rumble, where they don't censor us. We'll see you, of course, at the MRCTV.org webpage. That's MRCTV.org. Check us out there, consider donating, and visit the MRC store. And, of course, find us on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and, Twitter. Can't forget Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Gard Goldsmith, and you can find me on Gab at Gardner Goldsmith. For MRC TV, thanks for watching. I'm Gardner Goldsmith.